view out the window like a dog.
View of this big truck.
The view of the big tow truck right there. Hopefully you won't need him. What are you driving, Elana?
I'm driving someone else's car.
Do they know we have it?
Ooh, I hope so. They're gonna know after they watch this video.
Nobody's gonna watch this video.
We are driving our Plumber-Dave's Corvette. It's a C3 Corvette, which I've always wanted to drive, and this is the first one I've ever driven.
What's a C3 Corvette? You're talking about a Stingray 71?
Yes, Tom. They actually continued making Corvettes for many years after the mid-60s ones.
No, that's not true.
And they refer to them by the generations, the body styles. So C3 is the third generation Corvette, which is one of my favorites because it looks like a giant opal.
All right.
Now, Dave, who we know because he is, as I said, our plumber, and also because he is a drummer. And
drummer-plumber.
Drummer-plumber. He was over at our house doing some work on our house, which is falling apart. And he said, oh, I have a car and it's falling apart. We were like, let's trade. So he brought the Corvette over, and Tom did some taillight work on it. And it wasn't just a matter of normal sort of stock repairs, because this is not a normal stock Corvette.
Well, and the whole wiring harness was missing back there, so I had to cobble one together.
Why was the wiring harness missing, Tom?
Well, this is a custom Corvette, as you'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah, not stock. Can you not tell it's not stock?
Well,
So I think what we should do is let's go ahead and drive up here, and we'll find a place to park, and we'll bring you guys back and do a little walk around of this thing. What do you think about that?
well, I mean, it means that I have to stop driving in circles, which I don't like, but I do want to show people what's special about this car.
I'll give everybody one more view of the front, and then we'll bring you back when we find a place to park here. All right, we found a place to park. The airport is still in the background because that's the common theme of our videos.
Well, it's kind of the problem of living one block away from an airport.
That is the problem, but the property was cheap. 71 Corvette. I don't see anything special about it, Elana.
Well, I mean, it has a big block hood on a small block car, but,
well, I guess
that's not enough to call it custom. There's more. Come around.
All right, let's do that. Things are getting weird at about this point. All the Corvette people, what do you think about that?
Right now, half the viewers are going like, "Oh my God, that's so cool," and half the viewers are going like, "Oh."
Let's take it all in. So why don't you describe what it is I'm looking at, or we're looking at? I'm speaking for a lot of people right now, and the airplane people. Do you hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
All right.
All right. If you don't already know what you're looking at, what you see here is a 71 Corvette that someone has grafted a 63 split window Corvette rear bubble onto.
Not just anyone. Radio Bob Fellini did this.
I was going to get to that. I'm talking technical first.
Oh, I see.
This bit is from a 63 Corvette, 1 year only, split window. So pretty much, I don't know. I would say probably the most desirable Corvette of all time, but you can argue about that. The thing is, this car stock has sort of a straight, maybe slightly slanted back window. It looks more like a 71 Mustang than it does.
Like a Mustang coupe.
Yeah.
And now it's a Mustang fastback.
Right. And fastbacks are better. So anyway, this is something that Dave had wanted since he was a little kid. He was telling me that he remembers when this era car came out, and he saw the front of it, and he saw like the big hips, and he saw the swoopy fenders, it looked like the Batmobile, and then he saw the rear window, and he was super disappointed because he felt that this is what a Corvette rear window should look like. So his whole life, he has wanted to make a Corvette that looked like this, and he finally met a guy, a customizer, named Radio Bob Fellini. Hi, Bob. And he was telling Bob about it, and Bob said, I can do that.
This is a lot of work. If you look at the workmanship that went into this car, this was, anybody who's ever cut a piece of car away and then tried to put it back, you understand how hard it is to get the car back together. It came out good, I think. It's definitely one of a kind. There's probably one other guy that has the same kind of Corvette out there, we just don't know about him.
All right, it's 2 of a kind, but this one is the only one that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Custom taillights as well. Those are stainless steel dog bowls, probably from Target.
Yeah, I mean, literally, these are dog bowls. It's not like some cool car guy terminology. Like that's a dog bowl.
Yeah.
And this is what you did repairs on, right, Tom?
I did. I hooked up the wiring on it, and it's got later model exhaust tips. These are not the stock Corvette ones from this era. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a little shadowed, but I'll do my best camera work for you. And let's give a complete walk around. Dave has had this car 25 years. So it's in really good shape, actually. It's a small block 350.
If you want to give me the camera, Tom, I'll show people the inside.
Well, let's do that.
Ow.
Oh, there's a problem you haven't had in a long time. Pro door handles.
Who designed that? Okay, I'm going to do it. Ouch.
Was that hot?
It's hot.
So here, you guys are going to get a tour of the interior.
All right, let's see. So one of the things about the Corvette interior that has always been really cool is that, oh, that's better light. Leave that door open, Tom.
Yeah, see, I know what I'm doing.
Sure, we both do. The interior of the Corvette is inspired by jet planes, like fighter planes, and it really does have an airplane cockpit feel with these sort of big gauges up front here, and then all of the additional gauges on the side. And, you know, this is all exciting for me because it's the first one I've been in, and so I really like the way that the console is laid out. I mean, it's, there's a lot going on.
Are you playing with buttons in there? What are you doing?
I'm playing with buttons. There's a lot of little, like, hidey holes and vent handles and indicator lights. I'm kind of afraid of touching anything because any of you who have ever been in somebody else's old car or who have an old car know that, you know, you get in and you're like, don't touch that.
Especially an old car made entirely of plastic.
Anyway, I think that this is a very cool interior that I'm pretty stoked on. That's how the window looks in the back.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I think we should look at the engine.
I agree. Do you want to take that?
Sure.
And I will...
If you can pull the hood popper.
Yeah, okay. That's a thing. Where is it?
Corvette.
Oh, I got it.
Right there. Convenient. There you go. So, one way you can tell sports cars from muscle cars, and everybody thinks a Corvette's a muscle car, but these are sports cars. Sports cars have a mandatory hood prop that looks like this. You see how that thing is? It's automatic. You can just flip it back down. It goes up and holds it. All the most high-performance sports cars have that. Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. Corvette, no exception. It's got an engine built by Holley. Oh no, wait, Holley valve covers. I'm sorry, messed that up. What else we got looking at here? It's actually pretty clean.
It's kind of funny it has Holley valve covers because I think the intake and the carburetor are actually Edelbrock.
Ah, Dave's lunchbox is here. Look at this. What else we got? Oh, it's got headers.
Power steering, power brakes.
It's got really vintage spark plug wire holder looms. You see those things? From like 1990 or something?
On the other side, they're additionally separated by zip ties, which is always
let me walk on the other side. So it's a non-AC car, which is pretty cool. Unless it's August, then you won't like it.
I'm sweaty already.
And it has headers on both sides, Elana, not just one side.
It's always important to have symmetry in a car. You know, not only does it have headers on both sides, but the back window was switched to 63 on both sides as well.
Oh, you're right. Look at this. This body works on both sides of the car. It's a good thing you pointed that out because it'd be funny if it was only one side. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty unique car. It's Dave's dream car. He is really enthused about it, and that's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that making a car, which is the one that you want, is the most important thing about owning a car. I want to tell a story about your mom before we go, though, because every time I see a Stingray badge, I think of this story.
It's a pretty funny story. I know the one.
So Tom's mom was a car lady. You know, she had the Cuda that we now own. We'll do a video on that at some point. And She had a Corvette in the 60s. 66?
Yep.
Big block car?
427 4-speed.
She used to autocross it. I think they called it slalom racing.
She actually flipped it over once in the rain. The highway patrol flipped it back on its wheels and she drove it home.
Anyway, she decided in the 90s, around 96, that she wanted another Corvette. So she went to the dealership and she said, "Give me your finest, most powerful Stingray."
The dealership didn't know what to say. Bearing in mind, she was in her 70s at that time, I think. And they didn't make Stingrays anymore, she came to find out. And had to settle on, what did she buy? A Grand Sport, I think she had.
Yeah, she bought the Grand Sport, the blue, white, and red one, which is actually one of the first cars I ever drove stick on.
Yep.
So, yeah, so that's for Dolores, that Stingray badge.
It's pretty funny because I kind of agree. They stopped making Corvettes when they stopped making Stingrays. But, you know, I'm old and biased.
Yeah, I mean, as far as you're concerned, C3 is the last generation, so, you know, why bother going on after that? Anyway, I mean, that's Dave's Corvette. He was really nice to share it with us and tell us that we could make a video about it.
And this sound in the background is exactly what this car sounds like when you're on the gas.
Yes, exactly. And I've been inspired, so I think I'm going to go back to the Opel, put this hood on it, and maybe put a split window in the back.
Yeah, and everybody that wants to see a burnout out of this car, we're not going to do it because it's not our car. And I don't want to break it. I'm tired of working on things. All right, we'll catch you guys. We'll see if we can drive something else that we can do a burnout in. What do you think about that?
Do we have anything that'll do a burnout?
We'll bring the Opel next time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.